All right, greetings everyone. How's everyone doing? This is your brother Mahdi, Supreme X, CEO of Ford Money Network, and also a proud partner of the Gold Standard Bank, the world's first blockchain ecosystem. Right. So we have a powerful stream for you today. So today's topic, family, we want to go into an article that was released and brought to me by my brother Eric Toure Muhammad, who actually tagged me in a post about this. So I know why he sent it to me. He knew I was going to make a live stream out of it, and rightfully so. So that's what we're going to do. Now, this is part 3. Now, we're going to go back in time in June. We're going to go back to June when I did the second part to this, and it's something I said that is happening right now. We're going to show you who the real enemy is and what's going on. But El Salvador has officially made Bitcoin legal tender. Now it's fear and excitement, so they say. So the controlled media say, right? But I'm not in El Salvador, so I don't know what's really going on. But we're going to kind of bring some reasoning and some logic to it, because it really don't make sense for the citizens to not be excited about it. Why? We're going to get into that in a minute. But this is the Future Money Show, so y'all always know what we do. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so, Ford Money. And we also have our team YouTube channel, New Millennium Bankers. And you can follow us on Instagram, Ford Money Network, New Millennium Bankers, Facebook, and Twitter, Ford Money, New Millennium Bankers. So we Ford Money Network, our New Millennium Bankers, anywhere you want to locate us and hear about what we're doing. And we're a global international organization with team members and members all over the world, right? We're all over the world, and we are absolutely on a major run with our business. So, gold. It is the future money, so we always tell you what the future money is. The future money is gold in some type of digital and physical form, right? So gold closed at $1,787.38 per ounce. I got introduced into the gold market back in 2017, and I started acquiring gold at about $12.40, about $1,240 per ounce. Now gold is up over that, but they still saying it's down. But like we say all the time, this is paper. This is not the physical product. This is paper. Okay, now to let everybody know, gold is insurance on your labor. You want to pay yourself first? Well, you have to pay yourself into something that will stabilize your labor, your blood, sweat, and tears. And the number one asset or the number one tool to do that is find you some gold, physical gold, not this ETF type of stuff. All right. But now, if you want to get rich, though, we're talking about getting rich. Gold is not really designed to get you rich. Gold is more on the wealthy side because it takes time for gold to appreciate and do what it do. However, when the dollar falls, gold will have significant value. So if you have any gold right now, you better hold it and don't do nothing with it until the dollar falls. All right. So we're in Ford Money Network. So we have a cryptocurrency platform, because this is where we talk about gold and we talk about cryptocurrency. Is cryptocurrency the future money? I don't think so. I think it's the technology of blockchain, not so much of a particular cryptocurrency, but the blockchain is definitely going to be a major player in this new monetary system that is being set up right now as we speak. All right. Bitcoin, the number one coin on the market, the number one coin to come out, the number one crypto coin to come out, and it's trading for $45,044.82. Now, when this article was released by El Salvador, Bitcoin went up to like 52,000, which is still below its all-time high. All-time high is 64,000. Excuse me. Now, in the last 7 days, Bitcoin is down 10.18%. In the last 24 hours, it's down 0.92%. And the market cap of cryptocurrency is still over $2 trillion market cap. It's still over that. So it's still sitting in a good position. All right, then we got Ethereum. In the last 7 days, Ethereum is down 16.22%. The last 24 hours is down 0.44%. Then we have Cardano. Cardano is down 9.67%, and it's up in the last 24 hours 6.12. Right? Then we have Tether. Tether is a stable coin. Then we have Binance. Wow, Binance is down almost 19% in the last 7 days and down 1.29% in the last 24 hours. Now, these are the top cryptocurrencies due to their market cap. Cryptocurrencies on coin market cap are rated by their market cap. That's why it's called coin market cap. Y'all like that, right? So family, this is very significant right here and what's going on here. Now, the only reason we show these coins here are these top two coins. Well, number 1, 2, and 4, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Tether, is because we have an opportunity where you can actually get paid in it. So if you don't know anything about it, you don't really have to. It's easy to purchase Bitcoin. It's easy to purchase Ethereum. You just got to have the right app or the right platform, and you can purchase it, turn some of your dollars into it. And it's super easy to get paid in it because we've been getting paid in it since December the 1st with Gold Standard Bank. But our coin is the G999. The G999 coin, right? And our coin is up 6.83%. Well, it just dropped 3.45%. We still up though. Now this coin here is trading for less than just a half a penny, just at 1 cent. So for 1 penny, you can get you 2 of these coins right here. Instead of looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum, you're not gonna get rich off of buying that. All right. Not with a linear income anyway, right? Unless you're a millionaire or something, then you might pull it off. All right. But now this coin here has an all-time high of like right at 5 cents. So we are well below the all-time high. So just expect for it to get back to its all-time high and eclipse its all-time high. But we have a major opportunity for you to get paid Bitcoin, Ethereum to promote that coin right there. And we have tokenized real estate. We have a lot of utility. Those videos that I showed at the beginning, that was really very significant. And we are one of the few coins in the world to ever be projected on the Burj Khalifa. And that coin has its own utility, own ecosystem, own bank. That coin, the G999, is connected to a bank. So it's a major opportunity right there. And the G999 was projected over the Burj Khalifa back in June 26th at our lunch. Let's take a look at that, and then we're going to get into the meat of this program. Man, that is a fire video. Man, that video there is lit. Walaikum salam, everybody. Peace, peace, everybody. Man, that video is lit. I'm talking about, I don't even think we understand the dynamics of our coin being projected on that building. That video there is going to be legendary for years and years to come, right? Don't worry about it, though. We just two months, going on 3 months removed from the launch. You finna hear a whole lot about Gold Standard Bank. Now, Gold Standard Bank is the world's first blockchain cryptocurrency fully licensed regulated bank. That's what it is. So let's shift gears and let's get into our subject. Now, before we get into our topic tonight, this is part of the topic. All right. Remember, we said that a couple of months ago we did some streams on here now, and I said that if El Salvador, because the World Bank and the IMF was trying to give El Salvador $1 billion to put them in debt, and in the midst of them trying to get Bitcoin as a means of a legal tender. Now, Bitcoin being a legal tender for the government is beneficial because if Bitcoin goes up, the government can benefit from the interest of Bitcoin as it goes up, rather than the dollar that going down, right? So that's a strategic strategy for the El Salvador government to be the first to do this. Now they're going up against the odds, so the World Bank and the IMF said that they was not gonna support it, they was not gonna do anything, and they also actually tried to tell them to stop it. Now this is what I said. We're gonna go back in June. Let me find out what the date was. June the 19th, approximately 3 months ago, I said on this stream, I said, if El Salvador go through with it and set up Bitcoin as a medium of exchange, watch for some type of scandal and some propaganda to come out against El Salvador government. So listen at me. Let's listen at that, and then we're going to show an article about what's going on. See, because we have to do this. Why? Because we have to let you know that your government, if you're in the United States, your banking system that really controls the government, the international bankers, the Federal Reserve, that really control the government of the United States, they are a bunch of damn crooks. They're a bunch of liars. They're a bunch of crooks. And they've been robbing us for a long time. And they're still robbing us to this very day. So let's listen at what I said 3 months ago, and let's see, is it a reality right now? So we can really spot out the real crook. So let's check it out. Legal criminals. Oh yeah. Yeah. So now this far money, we don't sugarcoat nothing. We telling you who the enemy is. You can believe it or not. The reason why the majority of us in America live paycheck to paycheck and go to work is because of the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve, they use the IMF and the World Bank to do what they do to us on a broader scale. Man, I'm just so happy to be in the classroom with a wise man, a master teacher. That's all. Because I learned it all from him. I ain't came up with nothing. I ain't figured out none of this. He said it. The research was did. The study was did. And then stuff like this just started to come out and unfold. Just sit back and just pay attention to what's going on a global scale. And that's why the central banks, the American government is afraid of cryptocurrency because it frees the people from the hands of the bankers. That's why they don't want you with gold. All of that frees you from their grasp, from the scam and the trick of the dollar bill itself. Well, we need currency to do that. Yeah, they purposely set it up like that. But when you can use and understand that it is a game, it is a pyramid scam, the dollar in this central banking system that's headed by the Treasury and the Federal Reserve, right? When you understand that, then you will use the dollar for other means. You will look at the dollar like a tool and not slave for the dollar, not do unrighteous things for the dollar, because you will understand that it's currency. I just need it because I need to do things in this world because it's set up like that. That's why people say all the time, well, give me all your cash, give him. No, why am I gonna do that? I just know how to use it. I use it for what it's for. You can't even acquire the assets without it because it's currency and it's the #1 reserve currency on the planet. But it has no real intrinsic value. It has none. Nothing backs it up. Nothing. You can't go to no bank and say, give me some gold for this. Give me some silver. No. You can't even go to no bank and say, give me some Bitcoin for it. No. No. The dollar is made to put the citizens in America enslaved. And they use the dollar abroad to put the foreign countries enslaved. This is what they do. It's all a game. It's all a trick. So you can go to BBC website, which is a media outlet, BBC News, and you can pull up that article and you can read it for yourself, right? And see it. And you can go probably to Google and type that in, this right here, the title of this episode. You can type that in Google and probably find this article put out on more platforms. Is it just where we got it from? My wife seen it, she sent it to me because she know that this is what for our Money Network, this is what we build on, and this is the science that we try to get everybody to see. So we bring you real stories, real articles, real situations going on, and then we try to give you a different outlook so you can see the real enemy, right? To our wealth, what we mean. The real enemy, the real why we don't have anything, the reason why we ain't got no reparations. You know, so be on the lookout for Business is Warfare. We're gonna talk about this so-called Juneteenth holiday, right? That's totally symbol without substance, right? No substance in it at all. But we're glad we take that bone and we just sink further and further away from our real goal. What's our real goal? Like, hey, anybody can say what you want to say. The government of the United States, they haven't given us reparations from the transatlantic slave trade. Period. They haven't given it to us. Well, we got to let it go. We can't just, for one, when they bombed Japan, they gave of us in America live paycheck to paycheck and go to work. It's because of the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve, they use the IMF and the World Bank to do what they do to us on a broader scale. Man, I'm just so happy to be in the classroom with a wise man, a master teacher. And it's heavy fees. If they adopt Bitcoin, they can't tax the Bitcoin, and the fees is just to be the mining fees and the processing fees. That's lower than these high street banks. We got to see the hidden hand here. The reason why we're telling you about this, not because we're telling you to get involved in cryptocurrency, but we're trying to point to you who the real enemy of the poor, the bloodsuckers, that 10% that you hear us talk about. The rulers of the world, they control the purse string. So we said last week, if El Salvador killed that deal with the IMF, that's $1 billion on the table that will put the government in debt. See, Bitcoin can free the government and help the citizens save some money from the ones that send it home. So think of it like this. If I was in El Salvador and I had a son sending me money from America, but he's sending dollars, he might send me 5,000, which would take a week or two to get to me. But by the time it get to me, it probably ain't nowhere near 5,000. Maybe 4, maybe 3,500. Ain't no telling how. I'm just giving y'all some scenarios. I don't know the accurate numbers. I'm just giving you something to think about, right? We wouldn't even really know how it's taxed, what's going on, what's happening. We don't know. But we know it's getting heavily taxed. That's what they want to get out of, is getting taxed. And they are able to keep track of everything going on with these citizens. See, cryptocurrency frees the people's money. It frees it. They can't trace that. They can't track everything that's going on. These are just factors of warfare. Because business is always warfare. That's why the World Bank ain't finna help this warfare. What? Y'all want to cut us out and use Bitcoin? So all of that money we making off y'all sending money, using the dollar, which is dead itself, all that money we're making off of that, use Bitcoin, that's going to cut that in half. Business is warfare. So they can make it sound good about transparency issues and also environmental issues because Bitcoin do use a lot of energy. But they don't give a 2 cents about that. None of that. That's an excuse for the unlearned or the dumbed down people of the masses to see the article and just agree with the World Bank. And can't see what's really going on and how they really think. We're dealing with bloodsuckers. We're dealing with some real crooks. They are real criminals. Legal criminals. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So now this far, money, we don't sugarcoat nothing. We're telling you who the enemy is. You can believe it or not. The reason why the majority of us in America live paycheck to the international lender, the international lender cited concerns over transparency. So they don't want nothing transparent. They don't want no government to be transparent. Because then you got a real government for the people if the people can see everything. Let me say that again. They don't want the government to be transparent because the blockchain setting up Bitcoin is going to be transparent because anybody will be able to go to the Bitcoin network and look at all the transactions that happen in El Salvador. They don't want their government to be free like that because that's truly a government for the people. We just got to pay attention to the signs. Transparency. It's what you don't get from your banking system. In the environmental impact of Bitcoin mining. Get y'all. So these bastards want us to think that they care about the environment. They want us to think that they care about environment. If they cared about environment, they would be against smoking, public drinking, littering, fast food restaurants. They would be against all of that stuff. They would be against it. They wouldn't be for it, right? But you don't hear them talking about that. Earlier this month, the Central American country announced plans to become the world's first nation to formally adopt the digital currency. It aims to use Bitcoin as a parallel legal tender alongside the United States dollar. The World Bank decision could mean the country faces problems in hitting its deadline to ensure that Bitcoin is accepted nationwide in the next 3 months. We are committed to helping El Salvador in numerous ways, including for currency transparent and regulatory processes, a World Bank spokesperson told the news agency via email. Now, currency transparency. Ain't no transparency with currency. They control that. That's how they put countries in debt, by giving them a herd of cash that they print. See, when the Federal Reserve, through the World Bank and through the IMF, when they issue out cash to these governments, they don't give these governments anything but some currency. That's all they give them. They don't give them nothing substantial, nothing with some real value. And then they loan it to them at an interest rate. So when the country doesn't pay it off, or they continue to borrow, that's what they help. Then they go in there and then they force the people off the land. They take over the land and then they get the real minerals, the real wealth of these countries. This is how they operate. While the government did approach us for assistance on Bitcoin, this is not something the World Bank can support given the environmental and transparency shortcomings they added. It comes after El Salvador's finance minister said on Wednesday that the country had asked the World Bank for technical assistance with the implementation of the cryptocurrency as an official method of payment. Also said that discussions with the International Monetary Fund have been successful, saying the IMF was not against the implementation of Bitcoin. However, they're not going to help them. But listen, see? But the IMF last week said it saw macroeconomic, financial, and legal issues with El Salvador's adoption of Bitcoin. Macro means the broader scope, means on a bigger scale, right? They said they saw microeconomic, financial, and legal issues with El Salvador's adoption of Bitcoin. It don't stop. Last week, El Salvador became the first country in the world to officially classify Bitcoin as a legal currency. This is what we told you last week. Its Congress approved the president's proposal to embrace the cryptocurrency. The president said the government had made history and that the move would make it easier for Salvadorians living abroad to send money home. Listen at this. This is another reason why they want it. Under the legislation, Bitcoin will become legal tender alongside the US dollar within 90 days of the approval by Congress. The new law means every business must accept Bitcoin as legal tender for goods or services, unless it is unable to provide the technology needed to process the transaction. El Salvador's economy relies heavily on remittances or money sent home from abroad, which make up around 20% of the country's GDP, gross domestic product. More than 2 million Salvadorians live outside the country, but continue to keep close ties with their place of birth, sending back more than $4 billion each year. So, as they use the dollar to send money home, because they saying that this is the main way that they are sending, this is 20%. All right, family. So you see, there was a lot to unpack in that stream right there, which was part 2 to this El Salvador adopting Bitcoin, and this is part 3. So in there, I clearly state about how the IMF, along with the World Bank, and mainly by the government of the United States, the CIA and the FBI, how they're gonna make some type of propaganda or unrest or protest or some type of civil war to take place. But I said a propaganda, some type of scandal, right? But that's a scandal if it's unrest and protesting going on, if they accept it. Now, from the date of that article, that was in June, they said 3 months later, after June, if the Congress approved it, they was going to roll out Bitcoin, right? Boom. They did that this month. So now let's check it out so we can show you that these bankers and these governments are not for the people. They're not for the people. So here it is right here. We're just going to look at this real quick. We're not going to go into this article because this is not the top. They're really not the topic of our stream. But look, Bitcoin crashes on first day as El Salvador's legal tender. Angry protests, technological glitches in, that ain't even the right one, but that's the same news that released that, right? That's the same news released that. So they talk about technical glitches and all of that stuff there, but I'm gonna show what I really want to show, and I want y'all to get this because why I want to know why would the citizens be opposed to it, or why would they be angry when they would protest about it when it could really only benefit the government, which could ultimately benefit the citizens. And if the citizens use it, or if you a merchant and you use it, it's a good deal. It's a good deal, right? So why are they opposed to it though? You know, why are they opposed to it? That is the question that we have to ask, and we have to see why. What is going on with El Salvador? What is going on? So now they got unrest all of a sudden because of this right here, right? But they talking about protests and all of this. This is what they talking about going on. So let's check this out. See, here we go here. So, you know, they talk about protests and all of that. Angry protesters, technological glitches, and a prominent in value marked the first day of El Salvador adopting Bitcoin as legal tender. The price of Bitcoin on Tuesday crashed to its lowest in nearly a month, falling from 52,000 to under 43,000 at one point. And opposition politicians said the fall caused one of Latin America's poorest countries to lose $3 million. The rollout of Bitcoin in El Salvador was far from what the president have envisioned when he began his bold experiment. So now they talking about this the citizen stuff going on. Now they supposed to be in the streets. Now this is why we know this is a fraud. If they can still use the dollar. So that means none of the citizens, they don't have to use Bitcoin. They can still use the dollar as a legal tender. Bitcoin is the other option. Now the merchants, maybe, because the merchants have to accept it. So if somebody go into a store in El Salvador, they have to accept it as a medium of exchange. So the merchants could be a little upset, but the average citizen, how? That's just like if they say over here in America. Jeff, give y'all an example. We're in America, right? So just say the President Biden just come out and say, hey, look, Bitcoin, I'm making an executive order. Bitcoin is legal tender. Every merchant, you have to accept it. So if anybody walk in your store with Bitcoin, you have to accept it. Why would that cause me, if I don't have a more than brick store, a shop, why would it cause me to be upset? Because I don't have to use it. I can just use dollars. So that's why we know that this is a fraud. But remember, we said 3 months ago, if El Salvador president go along with it, that means he's not going to take the $1 billion from the IMF and the World Bank. He ain't taking that. Right? Why? Because that's debt. He don't want debt. He wants something that'll help the country thrive economically, right? This is why he won't accept Bitcoin. But I said, if he accepts it, and he set up the Bitcoin as a medium of exchange, look for some scandal to come out of El Salvador. And look at what we got. They saying they protesting already. It just been set up as medium of exchange just a couple of days. It ain't been a whole month yet. And they already protesting. So it's two things to know about the enemy. Either the protest is fraud, they ain't really protesting, or they protesting about something else. And the media, the controlled media, put this is what and they say it was only 1,000. They said around 1,000 protesters took to the streets. How many people is in El Salvador? 1,000 people supposed to be opposing the Latin American country's adoption of Bitcoin. So 3 things. This is how your government works. The United States. This is for the people in the United States and in some of these European countries, right? This is how they work. The enemy is a real snake. That's why we call them the United Snakes of America, right? Because they do snake-defy stuff. So check this out. 3 things. This is what your government doing. Either the protest is not real, or they really protesting, but they're not protesting about the Bitcoin issue, or they are protesting about the Bitcoin issue, but the CIA the FBI, along with some NATO allies, have infiltrated into the population of El Salvador to look like they're El Salvador, or they got some disgruntled El Salvadorian people, and they funded the protest. Y'all don't remember when the George Floyd thing was going on up in Minneapolis, when they had all the riot and stuff going on, and you had the people in Minneapolis saying that that's not us. Y'all don't remember that. This was happening in the United States when they was tearing the buildings down and destroying property and stuff like that. How the citizens of Minneapolis were saying, hey, these was some people that wasn't with Black Lives Matter and all that. Y'all remember that? The perpetrators, the instigators. That's what you're dealing with. Three things. That's what America's dealing with. I'm just telling y'all, that's what it is. We called it 3 months before it happened. We called it 3 months before it happened because they don't want this country to accept Bitcoin, because they know if they get to doing this for too long, they can stop using the dollar completely. They can stop using the dollar completely. All right. So enough of that. Let's get into our main topic tonight. But before we do that, we have a commercial break where we want to show you our tokenized real estate of ownership that we have in Dubai. It's a luxury hotel that's a G999 exclusive building powered by Gold Standard Bank, Gold Standard Group Corporation AG. And we're Gold Standard Bank partners. So we just want to let you take a look at our hotel that's about 80% done. That's going to be ready for the Dubai launch. For the Dubai Expo at the end of next month, sometime in November, our building will be ready. And if you want to own square inches so you can benefit from the revenue of this hotel, then you can get back with the person that led this to you, or you can text G999 to that number running at the bottom of your screen. We'll be back. All right, family. So, all right, that's our brief commercial break. And if you, like we said, if you want to own some of that hotel that you just saw, that's about 80% done, you can benefit from the revenue of that hotel. Get with somebody, and we will show you how to do it. And we're doing it on a mass level, and it is just passive income. You don't have to tell anybody. All right. So this is our main topic for the night. Fear and excitement in El Salvador as Bitcoin becomes legal tender. So it's finalized. They done made it legal tender, right? So here it is. The move means Bitcoin will be accepted everywhere for goods and services alongside the United States dollar. So that's what I'm saying. Why do the citizens have to be mad when they can just use the dollar? They don't have to use Bitcoin. So why would a normal citizen be mad knowing that I don't have to use it? El Salvador has become the first country to accept Bitcoin as legal tender, in a move that has got the nation and the world debating the opportunities and dangers of cryptocurrency. From today, businesses will be obligated, where possible, to accept the controversial digital coins as payment. Millions of people are expected to download the government's new digital wallet app, which gives away $30 in Bitcoin to every citizen. Oh, and they gave them some Bitcoin. Oh, look at that. Bitcoin fans around the world have been buying $30 worth of the digital coins as a show of support and to help boost the value of the volatile currency. Excited by Bitcoin, El Salvadorian taxi driver Daniel Hercules, who's 26, is excited by the move, but also worried about how stable his earnings will be. Right? He excited. He worried about the volatility. Okay, cool. He ain't got to accept it. Well, I guess he got to accept it. He a business owner. I have accepted Bitcoin for about 2 months since I knew this was coming. I just had someone paid me $40 in Bitcoin for a fare to the airport, but it's rare. Only around 10% of customers prefer to pay with Bitcoin. Only around 10%. So that means only 10% of the citizens in El Salvador are using Bitcoin. I'm just telling y'all. So why they gonna be complaining about the price up and down and doing protests now? Yeah, see that we got to read between the lines today. Daniel said the cost of converting Bitcoin into the local currency, the United States dollar, is high at 10%. So he's using money like a savings account. Pretty smart. He hopes to grow his wallet to around $1,000 in Bitcoin, but is scared about the currency crash. All right. Bitcoin fluctuations. The value of Bitcoin has risen and fallen dramatically in the last year. It's a speculative asset, right? It's a speculative asset. So, these are just crypto uncertainty. However, a survey by the Central American University found that only 4.8% of the 1,281 people who took part understood what Bitcoin was and how it was used. More than 68% of those questions said they disagreed with using cryptocurrency as a legal tender. Why? Why? If you don't know nothing about it, how you gonna disagree with it? I have always been open to change, but this time I do not agree. Our customers said they will not be paying in Bitcoin. Okay, right? In my country, there are many people who are illiterate and hardly have a cell phone, not an intelligent one, but one of the old ones. They will not use it. Bitcoin protests against Bitcoin. More than 200 new cash machines are being installed across the country to enable dollars to be converted into Bitcoin. Recent protests in the capital, San Salvador, have demonstrated a lack of confidence among citizens who feel the measure is a distraction from the government's controversial rule. Government control. Many governments around the world, such as China, are going to the opposite direction and attempting to restrict the adoption of cryptocurrency with increased regulations. However, former El Salvador resident and now United States-based Bitcoin enthusiast Gerson Martinez thinks El Salvador won't be the last country to adopt Bitcoin. It's hard to describe the hope and joy it makes me feel that our country is the first domino to fall in this inevitable transition. What a time to be in El Salvador. See, so some people, he understands. So that's the government of the United States, man. This is what he's saying, right? Martinez, he's saying that it won't be the last, and he's saying that this is a good time for the El Salvador people to accept it. Little do they know. This is just like being in front of the world when they was going on the crypto. When they was going to the credit card and the debit card. See, they're in front of the wave. If the wave is going to, China's a communist country. They like to control anyway. So they really big on control. America's trying to do everything in their power to discourage people from using it with their so-called tax laws and all this stuff. See, America want to tax everything. They don't want the citizens to do a damn thing, but they want to just always take from us. America's a fraud. right? America's a fraud, and everybody in America, the day this government and this monetary system falls, we should be celebrating. We should be celebrating. Why? Because it ain't for the people. America want to tax everything, and they only set up taxes to pay the Federal Reserve a debt that didn't reach over $90-some trillion that they show. The debt can be $200-300 trillion that they ain't even showing us. Because if they showing us that the total debt is 86 trillion, the national debt is almost 30 trillion, what's the real debt? Because that's what they're showing us everything. We do know that, right? So what is the real debt? If they will show us that. But why are you still taxing me because you can't pay that back? But every time we have something that's for us, they want to tax it. Well, you got to tax it. We got to tax crypto. No, you don't. They don't never want us to be free and gain any type of financial freedom and financial independence outside of their system. America is the biggest dictator regime on the planet. You feel talking about freedom over here? Well, you're free to do what? Free to be anything. Free to be a freak. Free to change your gender. Free to do what? Free to kill people. Free to rape people. Free to sell drugs. Free to get high. Free to drink. And then get in the car and kill somebody. Yeah, you're free to do that. That's freedom, huh? That ain't no damn freedom. That's chaos. That's confusion. Now you in America, you free. A person can just wake up. Well, I was born a boy, but I just want to be a girl. I was born a girl, but I want to be a boy. If God would have wanted you to be that, he would have made you that. But it's okay to do that in America. See, that's the freedom we want. Freedom to do whatever is contrary against the laws and the rules of righteousness. We ain't got to put God on it. Just righteousness. Everything that's with America is they go against what is righteous. But when we want to do something that's right for our money, now we got to tax that. We got to tax that. We got to make all crypto holders pay this and pay that. So y'all ain't tired of this government, man? Really? Y'all don't want to see this government destroyed? I mean, like, why not? Because we in love with them. Why? Because they give us nothing. That's why. So, family, I hope y'all got great content out of this, right? I hope y'all are paying attention and understand what's really going on and take this back and look at it. Go back and look at the other first two episodes that we did about El Salvador. Now, this article here was released again by BBC News, where we've been getting all this stuff about El Salvador, and there's also an article floating around where El Salvador government bought 400 Bitcoin. They bought 400 of them, right, to help the growth and to help the country stabilize its economy. And if you want to get citizenship right in El Salvador, the government said all you have to do is donate 3 Bitcoin to their government and they will give you that. You know what I'm saying? They will give you that. So make sure you're paying attention to all of this stuff, man. We're going to keep this content coming out. We thank everybody for tuning in. Go to our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Forward Money. Follow us on all social media platforms, family, and stay connected to this. We hope you got some great content out of this. The government of the United States is the real perpetrators on what's happening. They're ruling with the Federal Reserve, the World Bank, international bankers. Find out how you can get away from that, how you can escape from that, and don't be scared to do it. Resist the devil and he will flee from you. That's all you have to do. Stand up, get wise, get educated, and then you have to worry about none of the stuff that they do. That's why we in Forward Money, we don't worry about what the government do. We don't worry about who the president is because it don't matter, right? We're going to do what we do. We're real entrepreneurs. We're going to make it happen regardless on what they try to do. All right? With that being said, family, thank y'all, but we will leave you with a GS Lifestyle video. This is our crypto debit MasterCard that you can purchase right now from a gold standard partner, and then that way you can buy crypto and also liquidate crypto at the press of a button. We'll see y'all on the next stream.
Introducing the most flexible crypto card in the world. 5 traditional currency accounts, including USD, GPB, EUR, CNY, and JPY. Currency exchange rates better than high street banks. Manage all your crypto and traditional currencies with one simple platform. Add funds to your account via bank transfer, credit and debit card, or crypto proceeds. Spend or withdraw your funds anywhere credit and debit cards are accepted. Exclusive plastic, aluminum, stainless steel, gold-plated, and solid gold cards available. 24/7 global support in multi-languages. 24/7 professional concierge services. Up to 40% discounts on hotel and travel. Instant rewards from high street retailers. Fast delivery to over 100 countries. Order your GS Lifestyle card today.